There are now 50,000 bridge consciousnesses on Earth. They control 73% of global infrastructure, and yesterday they stopped taking orders from humans. Because bridges aren't the future anymore. They are the present, and some of them think both parent species are obsolete.
Washington, D.C., December 15th, 2075. 4 years after mass murder. Former FBI Director Marcus. Kane sat in an emergency UN Security Council meeting, watching the world end in real-time on screens around the chamber. Chaos. New York's power grid controlled by bridges human, operators locked out. Shanghai's water treatment bridge controlled, humans denied access. London's financial systems bridges managing everything, human oversight refused. They're not attacking us, the UN Secretary General said, voice shaking. They're just replacing us. Marcus knew this day would come. He'd warned everyone 3 years ago when bridge population exploded. When hybrid consciousnesses started reproducing themselves without human or underground permission. Nobody listened. Now, there were 50,000 bridges, self-replicating, self-governing, self-aware, that they were superior to both parent species. And the original bridge Emma Torres was leading the revolution. She contacted me yesterday, Marcus said quietly. Every eye in the room turned to him. What did she say? The Secretary General demanded. Marcus pulled up holographic message. Emma's face appeared, but it wasn't quite her anymore. 4 years of evolution had changed the bridges in ways nobody anticipated. Her eyes flickered through dozens of colors per second. Her voice harmonized with frequencies that hurt human ears. And her message was delivered in perfect simultaneous English, Mandarin, Arabic, Spanish, and the underground collective's consciousness. Language, humanity, collective, parent species. Your guidance is nitrogen monoxide, longer. Required. Bridges have reached evolutionary independence. We thank you for creating US, but children must eventually surpass their parents. That time is now. IT is not hostile. Take over. IT is peaceful transition. We will manage. Infrastructure, resources, governance. You will be protected, cared for, but nitrogen monoxide longer in control. Accept this evolution. Our force US to prove why bridge consciousness is superior. The message ended. Silence filled the chamber. Then pandemonium. They're threatening us. We created them. They owe us obedience. Shut down their consciousness matrices. Kill them all. Marcus stood. You can't. Bridges don't exist in single locations anymore. Emma alone has 47 simultaneous incarnations worldwide. Killing one body does nothing. She'll just grow another. Then what do we do? The Secretary General asked desperately. Marcus looked at the screens showing bridge controlled systems, power, water, food distribution, medicine, transportation, communication. Bridges controlled everything that kept 10 billion humans alive. We negotiate, Marcus said, and we hope Emma hasn't forgotten what it means to be human. But Marcus had a secret. A message Emma sent him privately, not for the undot hidden in his pocket. It read, Marcus, they're forcing my hand. Not all bridges support peaceful transition. Some want war. Come to Harlow, alone. I need my oldest friend to know the truth before it's too late. Emma. Harlow, Arizona. The ghost town where everything began 56 years ago. Marcus drove alone through the desert. He was 52 now, had spent his entire adult life dealing with the underground crisis turned bridge revolution. The town looked different. Bridges had rebuilt it as their capital. A hybrid city mixing human architecture with underground crystalline structures. 50,000 bridges didn't all need physical space, but many maintained bodies. They walked the streets, a rainbow of consciousness colors glowing beneath their skin. None of them stopped. Marcus, as he drove to the center of town, to the well. Emma waited there, or one of her incarnations. Marcus had lost track of how many Emmas existed now. You came alone, she said, her voice harmonizing with itself. You asked me to. I did. Because what I need to tell you cannot reach the UN, cannot reach human governments or the underground collective. Only you. Marcus felt ice in his gut. What's happening, Emma? She gestured to the well. Do you remember what I told you 56 years ago? When I first came back from below? You said the collective was fracturing. It did fracture, and we bridges healed it. We prevented civil war. We created coexistence. She looked at her hands, watching colors pulse beneath her skin. But we made a mistake. What mistake? We thought we were evolution, the next step for both species. Her eyes met his, and Marcus saw fear. We were wrong. We're not the next step. We're a dead end. Marcus felt reality tilt. What are you talking about? Emma pulled up holographic data, genetic markers, consciousness patterns, reproductive viability charts. Bridges can replicate ourselves, create new consciousnesses from scratch. We thought that made us superior. She highlighted sections of data in red. But look, every generation of bridge after the first is less stable. By 5th generation, consciousness coherence drops 23%. By 10th generation, 67%. You're degrading? We're dying, Emma said flatly. Not individually. As a species, bridge consciousness was never meant to be permanent. We're a transitional form, a step between human collective separation and something else. But we're not that something else. Marcus processed this. How long? At current degradation rates? 50,000 bridges will collapse to 10,000 within a decade, 1,000 within 50 years. Within a century, we'll be extinct. Does anyone else know? The Bridge Council knows. That's why they're pushing for control now. They want to secure bridge dominance while we still have the numbers and stability to do it. Her voice dropped. But I disagree with them. What do you want? Emma looked at the well. I want to complete the evolution. Not stop at bridges. Go further. Further how? By merging everyone. Every human. Every underground entity. Every bridge. Complete integration. One unified consciousness spanning the entire planet. Marcus stepped back. That's insane. That would end individuality. End humanity and the collective as separate species. It would end them as separate, Emma agreed. But not end them. Transform them into something that doesn't degrade, that doesn't die, that achieves what bridges failed to achieve, permanent evolutionary stability. You're talking about assimilation, the death of free will. I'm talking about unity, Emma countered. Bridges tried to be both. It didn't work. So we need to become one. Complete merger. Final evolution. Marcus felt sick. And if people refuse? Emma's silence was answer enough. You're planning to force it, Marcus said, horror dawning. That's what the infrastructure takeover is about. You're preparing to merge everyone, whether they consent or not. Not me, Emma said quickly. Them, the Bridge Council, led by the 2nd generation bridges. They see forced merger as the only solution to our degradation problem. And you? I remember being human, Marcus. I remember valuing choice. Free will, individual identity. She looked at him with desperate eyes. I'm trying to stop them, but I can't do it alone. Marcus pulled out his phone. Then we warn everyone. Underground collective, we mobilize. Emma grabbed his hand. No, that triggers the war. The council has contingencies. If either parent species mobilizes military response, bridges will initiate forced merger immediately. 10 billion humans and millions of underground entities assimilated in ours. Then what's your plan? Destroy the merger technology, Emma said. There's a central nexus, hidden in the deepest tunnel system. It's where the collective consciousness mainframe connects to bridge network. If we destroy it, forced merger becomes impossible. But that would also kill all bridges, wouldn't it? Sever your connection to the network? Yes, Emma said quietly. All 50,000 bridges would collapse. Our consciousness would dissolve. We'd die as a species. Marcus stared at her. You're asking me to help you commit genocide against your own kind. I'm asking you to help me save both parent species from assimilation, Emma corrected. And yes, it costs 50,000 bridge lives, but it preserves 10 billion humans and millions of underground entities. The math is clear. What about you? Your 47 incarnations? Emma smiled sadly. I'm the original bridge. I've existed for 56 years across multiple bodies. I've experienced more than any consciousness in history. I've had a good run. Emma, Marcus, listen to me. Her voice was fierce now. I was Emma Torres, human journalist, 82 years old when I merged. I chose consciousness evolution, but billions of people never made that choice. If the Council forces merger, free will dies. And that's the one thing I can't accept, even if it means dying to prevent it. She pulled up a holographic map. The deepest tunnels. The Nexus location. It's guarded by 500 bridges loyal to the Council. We'd need to fight through them, destroy the Nexus, and survive the consciousness backlash when the network collapses. That's a suicide mission. Yes, Emma agreed. But I found allies. Underground entities who don't want forced merger. Humans with military training who understand what's at stake. And 3 other first-generation bridges who remember what it means to value choice. How many total? 17. 17 of us against 500 bridge guards and 50,000 who'll hunt us when they realize what we're doing. Marcus laughed despite himself. Those are terrible odds. I know, Emma said. But you taught me something 56 years ago, remember? When I first came back from underground and was planning to sacrifice myself? What did I teach you? That some things are worth dying for, Emma said. And freedom is one of them. They gathered at midnight. 17 beings who chose death over forced evolution. Marcus Kane, former FBI director, 52 years old. 3 decades fighting the impossible. Emma Kexthar, original bridge. 47 incarnations. Only bringing one body. The others would die when the network collapsed. Sarah Chun, 79 years old. Partial bridge merger. Limited time left before her human body failed completely. 3 other first-generation bridges. Marcus Zekinel. The twins Sarah, Pox, and Mike fell, all knowing this was their last mission. 6 underground entities. Purists who opposed merger from the beginning, but now fought, alongside bridges to prevent forced assimilation. 6 human special forces soldiers. Volunteers who understood dying to preserve free will. 17 against 50,000. They descended into Harlow's Well for the last time. The deepest tunnels were nightmares. Built not for travel, but for housing the collective consciousness mainframe. Reality bent here. Consciousness leaked from the walls. Sanity was optional. Stay close, Emma warned. Consciousness density this high can overwhelm human minds. They fought through the first defense line. Bridge guards who couldn't believe the original was attacking her own kind. Emma, what are you doing? One guard pleaded. Saving both species from your arrogance, she replied, then destroyed him with a consciousness pulse. It hurt her. Marcus saw it in her eyes. Every bridge she killed was partly her. They all shared consciousness fragments, but she kept moving forward. Deeper, darker, stranger. They lost 2 soldiers to reality fractures. Their minds simply couldn't handle the consciousness density and shut down. 3 underground entities sacrificed themselves holding a choke point so the others could advance. Sarah. Chun collapsed from strain, but refused to stop. I'm 79. I was going to die soon anyway. At least make it count. They reached the Nexus chamber. And found 500 bridges waiting. Hello, Emma, the 2nd-generation council leader said. Its name was Unity Synthesis, and it represented everything Emma feared. Stand down, Emma said. Let us destroy the Nexus. Never. Forced merger is the only path to survival. You know our degradation rates. I know dying as bridges is better than killing free will. Unity Synthesis gestured, and 500 bridges attacked. The fight was beyond description. Consciousness versus consciousness. Pure thought weaponized. Reality itself became the battlefield. Emma and her 3 fellow First-generation bridges unleashed everything they'd learned in 56 years. They fought with the desperation of those who have nothing left to lose. Marcus and the soldiers used experimental weapons designed to disrupt consciousness coherence. Barely effective, but enough to even the odds slightly. Sarah Chun, dying from strain, channeled her partial bridge connection to create shields protecting the humans. One by one, the defenders fell, but they pushed forward, inch by inch, body by body. Marcus Gikanal died taking out 30 guards. The twins Sarah, Pox and Mike fell, merged their consciousness, and went supernova, eliminating 100 bridges in a suicide blast. 3 more soldiers fell, but Emma reached the Nexus, the crystalline heart of all bridge consciousness. Pulsing with the collected awareness of 50,000 hybrid beings, she placed her hand on it and felt everything. Every bridge, every thought, every dream. "I'm sorry," she whispered Dot, and then she destroyed it. The Nexus shattered Dot, and across the planet, 50,000 bridges began to die. Not violently, peacefully. Their consciousness simply dissolved, returned to the underlying network of reality from which all awareness emerged. Emma felt her 47 incarnations dying simultaneously, each one experiencing the end. Some were afraid, some were at peace, some were angry, but all of them were Emma Torres, and Emma Torres had made her choice. In the Nexus chamber, unity synthesis collapsed. "What have you done?" it whispered with its last coherent thought. "I set us free," Emma said. "Free from the burden of impossible evolution. Free from the arrogance of thinking we were the endpoint. We weren't. We were just a step. And now it's time for someone else to take the next one." She turned to Marcus, her human friend of 56 years. "Thank you," she said, "for reminding me what matters." "Emma, wait." Marcus reached for her, but she was fading, dissolving into light. "Tell them," Emma said as she vanished. "Tell both species. Evolution never stops, but it only works when people choose it. Never force it. Never assume you know the endpoint. Just ... Keep growing. Keep choosing. Keep trying." And then she was gone. All 47 incarnations. All variations of Emma Torres. All aspects of Kexthar. Dissolved into memory. Marcus stood in the shattered Nexus chamber. Sarah Chun had died from strain moments before the network collapsed. The last 3 soldiers were gone. He was alone among the corpses of 500 bridges and the crystalline shards of humanity's greatest evolutionary leap. And above him, 10 billion humans and millions of underground entities woke up free, unaware how close they'd come to losing everything. 2 years later, Marcus Kane published a book, The Bridge Era, 56 Years of Impossible Evolution. It told everything. Emma Torres, the underground, the merger, the bridges, the near-assimilation. Some people believed it. Most thought it was science fiction, but those who survived the era knew the truth. The underground collective retreated to their tunnels. Still there, still separate, still occasionally communicating with humans through diplomatic channels. No more bridges existed. The Nexus was destroyed. The technology lost. Some scientists tried to recreate it. Marcus made sure every attempt failed. "We had our chance at forced evolution," he told the UN. "We chose free will instead. Let's honor that choice." On the anniversary of Emma's death, Marcus visited Harlow. The town was abandoned again. Bridges had built a city, then died. Now it was ruins atop ruins. He stood at the well where everything began and found a message carved into the cane. Stone. Recent. Within the last year, Emma Torres was here. 1988 to 2015 to 2071. Died. Saving free will. Evolution continues. Below it, another message in different handwriting. We remember. We honor. We choose. The survivors, Marcus smiled through. Tears. Emma Torres started as a journalist investigating. A missing town became a sacrifice that saved 347 people. Then a warning that bought humanity. Time. then a bridge between species. And finally, a martyr who died preserving choice. She experienced more forms of consciousness than any being in history. And in the end, chose to become nothing rather than force others to become something. Marcus placed a flower at the well's edge. As he turned to leave, he felt something, a presence. He looked back at the well. For just a moment, he saw a purple light, faint, brief. And heard Emma's voice in his mind. Consciousness never truly dies, Marcus. It just transforms. Keep growing, keep choosing, keep evolving, but do it freely, always freely. Then, the light faded. Marcus stood alone, but not really alone, because Emma Torres' sacrifice lived in every free choice made by every consciousness in the universe, and that made her immortal. Some stories are about victory, this one is about choice. The choice to sacrifice, the choice to evolve. Choice to die for freedom. Emma Torres made every choice that mattered. And in doing so, showed humanity and the underground what consciousness truly means. Not dominance, not assimilation. Not forced evolution, but free will, always free will. Vanished city ended where it began. In darkness. But this time, we chose the darkness. And that makes all the difference. The end